All right. Meeting recording is now started. All right. Welcome everyone to the last studio meeting of 2025. Um, it has been an amazing year. Um, and because Dragon and Miss Raven could not make it tonight, they wanted me to tell everyone uh, happy New Year's and Merry Christmas for the 2 weeks that we will be taking off. Um, and then we will be reconvening for our regularly scheduled programming for the studio business on January 7th. So, with that out of the way, Zeke, Teo, do either of you have any updates for us this week?
Yeah, I got some updates. So last week I spoke with Arn and we talked more about like the systems for the four time Wizard Code, and I'll pull up the document right now. He told me all the stuff he was able to get done and everything, so now the list is updated. As you can see, he finished most of the stuff. He's still working on other parts of it. And for the trap system, I had to create a separate document. Well, not separate document, but a separate sheet just to hold all the different types of traps for the wood game.
Oh wow.
I also added a few new other systems that I felt like would be more gameplay type systems. Whereas like the gravity system will be working with more of the space world than other worlds, and probably the void world. And then there will be like the rope system. I was thinking like something that the player can swing on, or like similar to like how you have you ever played Mario Party 3?
Yes.
It's a old yeah. There was this mini game where like you had to race your friends on vines to get all the way to the end of the goal, and it was it was something similar to that type of idea where you can like try to swim across. It's like just to swim across like different types of gaps and levels. That was my whole plan for it. And then I thought of the protection system, which would be more keen for the modern world, because I felt while working on the story for the modern world, I also worked on the story. I finished the story for the industrial world. I just have to make a few tweaks to it before I'm able to post it. But right now, it's still not. I won't say it's fit. Well, the main part of the story is finished, but not like each character's feelings and that stuff as they go through those events, which I will explain in another time. I mean, I'll basically have that finished next year. But while I was working on the story for the model world, I thought of a unique system where since the whole premise of the model world is that you have to get to the boss while also fighting off different enemies. I also thought like you have the option of teleporting yourself back to the beginning of the level just for a quick second so you can help protect the Time Wizard of the modern era who is being overrun by enemies.
Interesting.
And, and like you can instantly teleport back. You just like help defeat some enemies and then you just teleport yourself back and forth. I thought it would be a unique change of pace of the usual like standard 2D aspects. Because I know in like the industrial era, there's like a one level where you get to go through a type of jailbreak situation. I thought for a gimmick for the model world would be more like something like that, which also led me to start working on. I think no, not on this one. Wrong document. Let's see. Again, not wrong document again. I really got to organize these documents. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, that's something else. I remember I written it down somewhere. I think it was this one. Yeah, I did further up on. So basically, figure out each gimmick for each world. I started writing down the gimmicks so I make sure I don't get them confused. Like for Jurassic, you have the mutated enemies where you had to fight like fire enemies and like ice type enemies. While Corruption, Cloud are basically like the, the medieval world. There's basically clouds that will start draining your magic while also causing damage if you get near them. For World War, you have enemies keep on reviving and not stay dead for very long.
Mhm.
And as I said, the modern era is protection, while the future era is more like I call it the pass breaker. It's a system where the player has to be able to get to like their. I couldn't decide whether like if the player is hit by the power of the Oracle Gem or the Eye Gem, it will cause the player to be separated in their body. It's basically going. I'm sorry, I'm trying to explain this in the best way possible, but the idea of it is that the player would be caught into like um they'll be sent to like another level where they have to be able to get back to their mind, get back to the body inside. It's, I'm sorry, I'm really trying to explain this.
No worries.
The idea was basically that the player will be sent to another level where they have to rush all the way to the end of it. It's just a short level. It's not that big. But like if they're not able to get to the goal by the end of the time frame, they will have to restart from wherever they were into that checkpoint that they just passed.
Oh,
But
that's interesting.
yeah, it's more like you are faced with what I was thinking as an alternative to that would be like a type of duck hunt type of thing where like you're being over flooded with memories of Cole starts showing off like different types of memories of his past where like it was happy memories and like of course he will want to keep on reliving, not noticing that he's basically sending himself all the way back to the beginning of his checkpoints. And if the player is able to shoot down each of those memories, they will be able to free Cole from that hypnotic state, basically. But if they are not, that's when he gets back all the way to the checkpoint. I couldn't decide which one, so I just said that as the alternative at the time. As I keep going with the gimmicks, the other gimmick for the space era is the invincible enemies. There's basically a device that keeps them invincible. As long as that device is there, the enemies can't die or take damage. And then in the industrial era, you have the slow gas, where basically, if the player touches it, they'll be stuck in a slow like field. And in the void, there's everything there.
All right.
But as I was saying, again, I can't show off like what was going on in the rest of the story, but I have worked on the modern era. I got started on that. And when it's ready next year, I'll start talking about it, but I'm still not finished yet.
All right.
And, but for the the industrial one, I am finished with that one. I just have to talk more about what each player is feeling before I I can show off where I left off at. I don't think I was very clear. I mean, I could talk about it now, but like I feel like having everything there makes it more interesting.
I mean, that is entirely up to you. It'd be, in my opinion, really cool to see the progress you've made so far at the tail end of this year. But I mean, if you want to wait until we reconvene and you have more to show, that's totally fine too.
All right. Because I just feel like if I explain, I mean, I could explain like each of Cole's feelings, but then I felt like if I were to show it like next time, I would have to just redo everything that I just said. That's why I don't feel like I should show off what I have so far this time.
Yeah, that does make sense. It
And
may be better that way to just wait until beginning of the year to be able to showcase everything so you don't have to go over it a second time. But it looks like Arn has really worked on quite a bit of the systems.
yes,
And
yes.
that's amazing. That is definitely farther than I could have gotten at this point in time. I'll be entirely honest there.
Thanks. Yeah, and what he showed off in that video was really amazing as well.
Oh yeah, it was it was amazing for what it was. The way everything worked that he showcased in his second update, it was phenomenal.
Mhm.
It definitely goes above my skill level at this point. And I can't wait to see how he does more of the systems based on your direction and your uh, explanations of certain things with those systems.
Yep. Yep. And so that would leads me to this next part. I last time there wasn't a trap, there wasn't a list of traps, so that's what I also worked on. I came up with each trap. I looked, and most of the traps are simple, like there's spike traps, there's lava, and they give like simple explanations. But like traps that are more complicated, like the revive field, I gave a more defining comment where it explains more about like what this trap can do and like what it's supposed to do. And then like here's what I was talking about, like the past failures and like it's a there's a long explanation of what I just said before, but that's what I was trying to like implement for like the future world. While there are lots of other traps like the Ghost Knight, the Visibility Field, uh, the Window Gunman, and other traps as well. If you guys ever want to take a look at it, or if you guys come up with some more traps ideas, I'm really open for anything. Really open for more ideas for traps. But other than that, you guys can just check out the link to the document yourselves whenever you have free time. And I forgot to take out this tab because that tab was not needed at all. And at this point, I was thinking of trying to create a tab to like explain what each time Jevin's supposed to do. But as seeing what Arn has put together so far, I feel like he got most of it together. But I do feel like explaining like what they do when Ko has it would be a better show off of it as well.
Right.
And other than that, I have been trying to work on the level. I've been having more of a brain fart about it because I'm trying to picture the castle layout, but I think I'm just overcomplicating myself about it. I was getting started with castle, but like other than the castle, I was about to switch over to like Earth, uh, the Earth space station. But other than that, that's all I've been working on this week. I've been going crazy on it this week.
Very nice. I love how it's coming together so far, and it's certainly more than what we had. So progress is progress, regardless of how small the progress is, and it's refreshing to see any form of progress on the project, for sure.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
So, do
Uh,
anybody get any questions?
I don't think I have any, unless Teo, Peter, or Solely have any questions. Peter, do you have any questions about what Zeke said for his progress?
No.
Ooh, I like how this ballista's turning out so far, Teo. Simple but elegant. I like it. Sometimes the simplicity is where it's at, you know?
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Is that kind of what we were looking for, Zeke, as far as
Oh yeah, definitely.
all right, cool. Um I don't know what the status is on the centaur for getting over to Peter, but I will find that out. Um, and probably update after. I am so sorry that it is taking this long for us to get the centaur to you. It should not normally take quite this long, and I sincerely apologize that it is. Yeah, yeah. I am hoping Dragon or I can um get her into gear to finish the centaur up for us so that you can start going to work on doing some rigs for it. Again, I am so sorry it's taking this long. Um, this is, however, the constant fight with that particular artist to get her to uh, do what actually needs done for us. Yeah, but it shouldn't take this long though. Like I could see with something as intricate as the gun that Teo was working on, why it would take so long. Like if we had to do rigs for that, but on something like this that she's been basically holding on to for months at this point, it's becoming a bit of a hassle, honestly. And it should have already been fairly focused on and done already to the level that it was supposed to be so that you could have actually started work on it. And that is, I guess I would say that is my biggest frustration with the artist in particular that is working on the centaur, is her time management and her level of focus for anything other than what she feels like is fun that she wants to do instead of, the jobs that she needs to do for certain things or that she was given the green light to work on for us. And that is where I am honestly really struggling with this whole situation, is trying not to lose my temper at her about her lack of commitment to the job that she said she was going to do on the time frame that it honestly needs to be done on. So that is my biggest struggle right now. Um, also for my kind of um, update, I have been slowly trying to work on getting more um, programming books and knowledge as far as being able to further help the studio in other ways from my end. Um, in certain respects, um, and I am also in the middle of um, getting approved and trying to pack to be able to move to a new apartment in a nearby city, still on the same housing program I am currently in. It's just going to be a lot easier at the new apartment to recover from my back surgery than it would be in my current situation. Um, so that's been a whole hectic thing this week. And then still trying to, when I can, get things to be able to increase my knowledge for being able to help the studio in more ways than I am currently. And then just trying to do what I can to stay out of trouble, which I have been managing fairly well. Uh, but knowing my luck, that will end up running out eventually. Um, as far as that is concerned, um, does anyone else have anything more to add or any questions before I end it? Um, so last I had heard, Marley was working on Co, but I have not personally had the chance to talk with her more recently, so I'm not sure exactly where her progress is on that for him as far as the clothing and the character design modeling goes for him. Um,
I know.
that is something else that I need to um, ask Dragon for an update for. Um, but hopefully soon we can get you the Centaur and possibly Co to start rigging. Again, I am so sorry it has taken this long. It usually does not take nearly this long for one character for a uh, project of this scope. And that is honestly frustrating me to no end when it comes to the Centaur specifically. Um, are there any other questions, anything else we need to address before I close us out for tonight?
Not that I can think of.
Mateo, Soli, do you have any other comments or questions? All right. With that said, uh, again, I do want to reiterate Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, everyone. And we will be resuming our regularly scheduled weekly meetings after the new year is upon us. Everyone, please be safe over the holidays and spend as much time as you can with the people you care about, because family and the health of the team, both mentally and physically, is of utmost importance. With that said, I will close us out for the night. And thank you everyone for being here. And those who are watching later from home, thank you so much for taking the time to review this recording. And that's gonna do it for 2025 for us. We will see you all back here as much as humanly possible in 2026.
All right.
So
Take care, everybody.
take care, everyone.